Happy Sunday, beautiful people. It's me, Maris. Sundays I like to think of as days of simplicity. I'm going to burn some Palo Santo today. It's a positive, uplifting, clearing medium for smudging. And we are doing a financial forecast for March. I know that right now things seem a little uneasy in many places. We hear about layoffs. So I thought, well, let's take a look at our financial forecast and see what we are looking at. I'm going to kind of let that just keep burning here for a minute. So go ahead and take that smoke and bring it in close to you. I got to back off a little bit. It made the stick, the shuffling of the cards made the stick fall down. So March is coming. That means spring is almost here. We're like, 4 weeks away from spring. So I'm super excited about that. I love spring. It's my spring to early summer is probably about my favorite time of year. So I'll just seeing if we have any cards that like fall out. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Okay, there's my first one. Okay, alright, so there's some more. Let's see if there's anything else they want to talk about. This is the Angels of Abundance deck. So it's like a lot of times we don't like to talk about money, you know, and our angels, our guides, our guardians, our guardian spirits, they're always there. And I think that if you're afraid to have a conversation about money with another human or another person, that sometimes talking with the angels is a good way to change a mindset to where we have a mindset of abundance. Okay. Anything else? Any last cards? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's a negative, but I do have a handful of cards here, and okay. I am going to okay, I'm going to put them in the order that I'm going to put only 2 up at a time, 2 up, and then I'll put the what the help card is. So the first card is the energy. The second card is the obstacle, and then that third card that's going for each line, that is going to be what your help is on that. So buckle up. I got the first 2 cards set up. Okay, and that first card that we're looking at, let me bring that just a little closer for you. You'll see is detox your friendships, and it's upside down. And then we have, as our obstacle card, is clearing debts, and it's right side up. So when I'm looking at these 2 cards coming in together, and I've already seen what the help card is, so I'll lead into that. But what we're looking at in here is detox your friendships, and it's upside down. So when I'm looking at that card, the very first thing, whoops, the very first thing that comes to my mind is that we're hanging around people that have a negative mindset about money. And it can be a couple of different things. You can have people that are expecting that money to be handed to them. And then you have people that have a lot of money, but they hide that money. They live very frugally, and there's not a sense of generosity. So it's kind of like a physician that makes pretty good money, but he buys his kids gifts at the thrift store for Christmas. I'm going to say it's about greediness in that aspect. So through there, it's like you're hanging out with people that don't have a strong mindset about money and abundance. And in that is a struggle for you because you value those friendships, but the friendships aren't really helping you think about money or your finances, putting it into a good balance. Now, the clearing debts, I like this card being in the obstacle because this is about us confronting the things that we owe. And that is such a difficult thing to do. And when we've got, it's tax season. So we're looking here about it's time to sit down and start looking at where you really stand financially, because you haven't been really kind of in that mind frame or mindset of abundance. So this is, and I'm going to call it a rude awakening for you to get into that mind frame of abundance. The help card here is the gratitude list, and it's upside down. And, sometimes it can be because, we can't see the forest for the trees. But in this card, what I'm feeling is it's time for us to sit down and kind of make a list of all of the things that you do have. Whether it's materialistic things, things, tangible that you can hold, your house, your car. You really can't hold your house or hold your car, but you can touch them, right? It's about being aware of the little things. So if you have 0 credit card debt, that would be, I'm grateful I have no credit card debt. This card here is saying it's important for you to sit down and look at what you have around you. You're not paying attention to that. It's important for you to pay attention for all of the things you have, even though they may be really little in size. They are of a great value, and you're really kind of taking things for a little, what I'm going to call taking things for granted through there. So that's that first line. Now, the second line is interesting through there because this is talking about how you really need to sit down and face your financial fears. I'm going to say, so even if you're 50 years old and you're looking and you go, I have like very little retirement set up, even if you save $1 a day, that eventually starts to build up, and it's about looking at your financial status and how you want to improve that. Now, what I think is interesting, and I love it actually, because this has been, I have done like daily draws on this deck for just like one card. And I have received this abundance mindset, I want to say like 4 times in maybe 9-10 days. So I'm like, no, I need to, what am I looking at? So what am I paying attention to? And I looked at it and I was like, I've been paying attention to what's going out and not what's coming in. And when I do have what's coming in, I was looking at it as it's got to go out, if that makes sense. So it was like it never rested like in my hands where I felt that was mine. And so this abundance mindset is about reprogramming and refocusing what your view is on what's coming in and how you're going to utilize it. And I'm going to use the word energy. Utilize the energy, that frequency of abundance, because it's coming in order to keep recreating on a daily basis that abundance mindset. Think about all of the things coming in and then focus you having it and then what you're going to do with it. Now, what I think is interesting is this last card of the reading, and I'm going to say I'm guilty of this. Okay, so the help card here is clean energy food, such things as whole foods. And I realized this morning I spent the weekend here in Oklahoma City and not at home. And I realized when I saw this card, the last 4 meals that I had were from restaurants. Yes, the last 4 meals that I've had were from restaurants. And, and they can cook their fries in tallow all day long. I'm laughing about that. But it's still not the vibration that you put into your food when you're making it homemade or making it from scratch. In fact, if you have like a meat grinder and you get your piece of beef and you grind your meat to make your hamburger and you've baked your hamburger bun, which is really cool. Mine are horrible. I'm still working on that. But if you kind of follow what I'm saying, it's like when you start creating what you're eating and preparing, and that's what this is saying for that month of March, kind of settle down a little bit and start cooking your own food, preparing your own food. You don't have to go to the extreme of grinding your own beef or, milling your own flour, but start putting your energy into it. Because if you're putting your energy into it and you're focusing on an abundance mindset, what you eat is food that's infused with an abundance mindset. So the angels want us to get back to basics, being simple, living life, being grateful. And it said this month of March, we need to pay attention to our finances, and we need to really sit down and look and see where we are, whether we're in the positive or the negative. And if we're in the negative, how are we going to get into the positive? And it's actually a really good energy and frequency when you're tuning in with the angels, that they'll help guide you make some good choices on how you're going to create your abundant mindset. So I hope you enjoyed today's reading. Do me a great big favor. Love the video. Comment something cool. And don't forget to share it. Peace, love, and harmony. I will see you very soon. Maybe for a little bit longer. There we go.